Ever felt that gut-wrenching and embarrassment after you make a mistake? What if I told you that very feeling could be your secret superpower for growth? Join me as we dive into the fascinating science of how the brain responds to errors. Discover the hidden potential in your failures and learn how to turn each stumble into a stepping stone toward success. Don't just survive your mistakes, thrive through them. But what if that feeling wasn't a sign you were failing? What if it was actually the first step towards getting smarter? Neuroscientists have found that when you make a mistake, your brain doesn't just see it as an error. It fires off a specific, powerful electrical signal. Think of it as a growth signal that quite literally prepares you to learn faster than at any other time. This isn't some just motivational poster quote. It's a hardwired biological fact. So in this video, we're going to show you the science behind this incredible brain response, and more importantly, how to find that signal and use it to your advantage. My name is Dr. Jonathan Paul Strecker. Before transitioning to education, I studied neuropsychology extensively. This background not only helped me to understand how the brain adapts, but it also transformed me from a struggling student without direction into an educational leader and author. I believe it can do the same for you, no matter what your vision for success. To see how mistakes make you smarter, we have to look inside the brain right at the moment you mess up. For decades, scientists have used tech like EEG to measure the brain's electrical activity. They found something amazing. They pinpointed a distinct brain wave that fires almost instantly after we make a mistake. It's called the error-related negativity, or ERN. You can think of ERN as your brain's automatic, oh crud response. It's a sharp spike in brain activity that happens within 50 to 100 milliseconds of an error. That's so fast, you're often not even consciously aware you did anything wrong yet. It's your brain's internal alarm bell, a subconscious alert that says, hey, that didn't go as planned. But here's where it gets really cool. The ERN isn't one and done signal. It's immediately followed by a second wave called a PE, or error positivity, which shows up about 200 to 500 milliseconds later. The second signal is tied to your conscious attention. This is your brain going from a knee-jerk, oops, to a more thoughtful, okay, what just happened and how do I fix it? Together, they're a powerful 1-2 punch of learning. The first signal flags the mistake automatically, and the second brings your conscious mind in to analyze it. As neuroscientist Andrew Huberman explains, making errors tells our nervous system that something isn't working, which in turn signals our neural circuits that they need to change. That frustrating feeling we get, it's not just an emotion, it's a biological state. When we mess up, our brain pumps out neuromodulators like epinephrine, which is an adrenaline, and acetylcholine. Epinephrine jolts us into a state of high alert, and acetylcholine sharpens our focus right on the source of the error. This chemical cocktail is your brain essentially screaming, pay attention. This moment right here is critical for learning. This is the biological definition of a growth opportunity. If you're finding this peek inside your brain's learning machine as fascinating as we do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. We break down the neuroscience of performance, learning, and health every week so you can finally start working with your brain, not against it. Okay, the science is one thing, but how do we actually use this in real life? How do we take this natural brain process and consciously put it to work? It all boils down to changing your relationship with mistakes and adopting a few habits that sync up with your biology. These are the 4 scientifically backed strategies to turn every screw up into a launch pad for growth. Strategy 1. Let's reframe your frustration as focus. The next time you make a mistake and feel that familiar spike of frustration, try this instead of thinking, ugh, I'm so annoyed, or I'm just bad at this. Relabel that feeling. Tell yourself, okay, my brain is in learning mode right now. Recognize that feeling for what it truly is, a surge of epinephrine and acetylcholine designed to make you hyper alert and focused. As Dr. Huberman says, quitting while you're frustrated is the worst thing you can do for learning because you're wasting the perfect neurochemical cocktail. By just staying with that feeling for a moment, you're tapping into the brain state that is primed for change. This simple mental shift, as seeing frustration as a stop sign to seeing it as a green light for brain plasticity, it's huge. It's exactly what researchers find in people with a growth mindset. Studies show that people who believe their abilities can be developed have stronger brain response to errors and are way more likely to learn from them. So when you feel that jolt of frustration, lean in. Your brain is telling you you're ready to build new and better connections. Stage 2. Master the micropause. The whole neurodrama of detecting a mistake and becoming aware of it happens in less than half a second. But our emotional reaction, that can last for minutes, even hours. This is where the simple power of a pause comes in. After you make a mistake, especially one that stings a little, resist the urge to immediately jump back in or distract yourself. Just take a breath. 5 to 10 seconds is all you need. That micro pause does something critical. It gives the prefrontal cortex time to catch up and process what happened. It lets you move past the gut punch of the automatic ERN signal and fully engage with that conscious PE signal. In that brief window, your brain can analyze the gap between what you wanted to do and what you actually did. If you don't pause, you risk just reacting to the motion of the mistake instead of responding to the data it's giving you. Strategy 3, the small shift strategy. You don't learn just by noticing a mistake. The learning happens when you take corrective action. The best way to do this is to make small, immediate adjustments. Don't wait until you practice again tomorrow. If you misspelled a word, go back and type it correctly. 3 times if you played the wrong chord on a guitar. Stop and play the correct one slowly and deliberately. If you fumbled a line in a presentation, say it again the right way, right away. This works so well because you're taking advantage of that perfect neurochemical state. With acetylcholine sharpening your focus, any correct action you take gets neurologically heightened. You're giving your brain a clear, immediate solution right when it's most hungry for new information. This strengthens the correct pathway and starts to weaken the connection that led to the mistake in the first place. And there's another bonus, dopamine. When you get it right, even a little bit after messing up, your brain releases dopamine, the neurotransmitter for reward and motivation. That dopamine hit not only feels good, but it also speeds up neuroplasticity, essentially locking in the new learning. That small immediate shift is the fastest way to close the loop from error, to correction, to reward. Strategy 4. Become the error detective. The best performers don't just put up with mistakes. They go looking for them. This is the whole idea behind what's called deliberate practice. It's about pushing yourself just outside your comfort zone, into that sweet spot where mistakes are perfectly much guaranteed. In fact, some computational models suggest that an error rate of about 15% is a sweet spot for learning. If it's too easy, your brain gets bored. It's too hard, you get overwhelmed and quit. That 15% sweet spot ensures you're making good mistakes to trigger learning, but not so many that you give up. To use this, stop just practicing what you're already good at. Intentionally work on things that make you stumble. If you're learning a language, drill the grammar rules that always trip you up. If you're a coder, tackle a problem that's just a little bit beyond your current skill level. You could even keep an error journal to log your most common slip-ups and think about why they happen. This turns you from a passive victim of your mistake into an active detective, hunting for clues that make you better. So here's the so what. For most of our lives, we've been taught that mistakes are shameful, a sign of weakness or a lack of intelligence. But the neuroscience tells a completely different story. A mistake is not a failure. It's the raw material for learning. It's the biological signal that your brain is ready to change, adapt, and literally grow stronger. That sinking feeling you get when you mess up isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal to focus. The frustration isn't a barrier, it's the fuel for your brain to rewire itself. By understanding how your brain's error signals work, by reframing the frustration, pausing, making small connections, and even seeking out mistakes, you're no longer a victim of your errors. You're harnessing them. So the next time you fail, the next time you miss the mark, just remember that the incredible biological process you've just kicked off. You haven't taken a step back. You've just opened up a door to get smarter. What's a mistake that taught you a valuable lesson? Share the story in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and stay strong.